Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, September 2nd. We will continue to have thunderstorms move into the region today and Wednesday and continue into Thursday, generally from the south and west. Today they will impact mainly the western half of Nevada, and then on Wednesday spread slightly further east into parts of central Nevada and southern Utah, and then continue slowly spreading east and north on Thursday. Otherwise, hot and dry conditions will continue across the north with well above normal temperatures. We will likely see a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms, and these thunderstorms on the west side of Nevada today will be fairly fast moving. Therefore, that will limit overall rainfall amounts, although they will be technically a mix of wet and dry. So some areas will see some rainfall, but the fast motion of the storms is still concerning for the Sierra Front and into western portions of Nevada. No lightning or showers occurred over the last 24 hours with the exception of far southern Nevada, and these thunderstorms have been moving north this morning. Otherwise, we did have some buildups and elevated showers in northeast Nevada and southwest Idaho yesterday, but again, minimal precipitation of anything reaching the ground and no associated lightning. Yesterday, we had 11 fires for 214 acres across the Great Basin and 46 acres of growth on our large fires. Over the last 7 days, we have seen that above normal, well above normal precipitation across the northern half of the Great Basin into western Nevada, with below normal precipitation over parts of central and southern Utah. These conditions definitely played a role in our current fire danger, and our ERCs dropped below the 50th percentile region-wide after this precipitation, but have been gradually increasing with the warmer and drier conditions we've seen over the weekend, and we do have a few areas in the north that are now above the 50th percentile. 100-hour fuel moistures also have increased with the recent moisture, but you can see from the maps, the top right here, the Payette, we did have a significant rise in 100-hour fuel moisture, but also it has been rapidly declining, and we will likely see those fuel moistures continue to drop, but not to the levels of what we saw before the most recent precipitation. Similarly, further south, 100-hour fuel moisture again took a rapid increase and will be decreasing, not quite as much as up in Idaho, as moisture will return a little bit faster to northern Nevada than it will to central Idaho, but generally returning to near normal before we see another rise with additional moisture. Looking at our satellite loop from this morning, we have an area of low pressure off the California coast, and this is increasing instability for significant thunderstorms in parts of central California. These did not push as far east as what could have occurred, so we did lose much of our lightning threat this morning for western Nevada, but we do have a cluster of thunderstorms down south that is moving into southern Nevada, and that will slowly move north, and then we'll see thunderstorms develop this afternoon across much of the western half of Nevada. Smoke impacts will continue over western and northern areas of the Great Basin from fires to our west. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, again, you can see that moisture increasing over southern and western Nevada today for that increase in thunderstorms. The areas of most concern will be the Sierra Front into western Nevada, where the storms will be moving quickly from south to north, so this will limit overall rainfall totals, although they will be a mix of wet and dry, and some areas still within our high-risk area will see some rainfall. These thunderstorms will continue moving north and will impact parts of northwest Nevada, but should be a little bit more isolated and mainly confined to southern and western portions of that zone, but it will impact the Winnemucca district later today. You can see from the transport winds the gusty outflow wind potential over western and southern Nevada associated with these thunderstorms. Otherwise, winds across the rest of the basin will remain light to moderate. Relative humidity will remain in the teens region-wide. Temperatures will continue to remain hot across the north and well above normal for the time of year. We will see a little bit of moderation in those temperatures further south in the coming days as the moisture spreads north. So today you can see where the best chances of thunderstorms and precipitation will be, which will extend from southern Nevada up into parts of western Nevada today. As we move into Wednesday, this moisture starts to push a little bit further east, so we will see thunderstorms move into parts of central Nevada and southwest Utah. We do not have any high risk for these storms. As they push further east, they will be a little bit slower moving, so it's really the western periphery which would have those faster storms. You can see the potential for gusty outflow winds across much of Nevada tomorrow into southwest Utah as these thunderstorms push a bit further east, along with the increase in humidity over parts of southern Nevada and parts of the Sierra Front with another day of moisture. Otherwise, very dry conditions continue in the north and over much of Utah. Temperatures remain hot on Wednesday up north, but will decrease a couple of degrees from the high temperatures we saw yesterday and today. Otherwise, temperatures generally a few degrees above normal across Nevada and Utah, although moisture again will be increasing. So we'll see a lot more shower activity in Nevada tomorrow, and depending on the morning cloudiness, this may limit the overall thunderstorm coverage, but there will be thunderstorms embedded in these showers anywhere across southern, central, and into western Nevada, and then moving back into the Arizona Strip and southwest Utah. As we move into Thursday, we still have the moisture kind of ticking a little bit further north, but still remaining largely out of Idaho and Wyoming. So our significant fire potential remains almost zero down in the southern portion of the Great Basin as moisture increases, but still low across the remaining portion of the region. You can see the potential for gusty outflow winds again on Thursday, mainly over the southern half of Utah into Nevada and also into parts of southwest Idaho as those thunderstorms may creep a little bit further north. Otherwise, relative humidity will be on the upward trend starting Thursday, even in the north, but we'll still see many areas still in the mid to upper teens. Thursday, the best chance for showers and thunderstorms will be over the southern half of the Great Basin and into northwest Nevada. Again, Idaho, Wyoming largely remaining out of the thunderstorm activity through Thursday, although temperatures will drop down a bit as we see a little bit more cloud cover. 3-day precipitation shows the main focus over the southern half of Utah and much of Nevada. Again, will be very scattered with these heavier wetting rains, so nothing like the moisture we saw last week. Most areas will see precipitation generally on the lighter side, but there will be some pockets of wetting rains anywhere from the Sierra Front into central, southern Nevada, and southwest Utah, especially in the higher elevations. By Friday, finally, this area of low pressure off the California coast starts to lift northeast, and this will help push moisture further north into Idaho. So we will see still widespread showers and thunderstorms in Utah, decreasing overall fire behavior and fire potential yet again. However, up north, we'll see that first day of a return of thunderstorms, which will continue on Saturday and going into Sunday. These will be also a mix of wet and dry, mostly on the wetter side up north for Idaho and Wyoming. But as far as some of the heavier wetting rains, those will be a little bit more scattered, at least in aerial coverage. But this should decrease significant fire potential again up in Idaho and Wyoming as we get into the weekend and maybe early next week. You can see the 7-day total precipitation, a little bit more for Nevada and Utah as we go through the next 7 days past day 3. And then we have that moisture moving up into Idaho, where again, mostly the mountain areas will see the better chances of seeing wetting rains up north. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from September 9th through the 15th, shows cooler conditions and wetter conditions continuing in many areas of the Great Basin, especially the northern tier. So we'll see how this plays out, but this certainly won't be our last potential for showers and thunderstorms this week. It does look like we will have more potential as we go through mid-month. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.